Hello, good evening, and welcome to the FB4 Daily. It is Tuesday night. The world is in lockdown, or pretendy lockdown. And this show is brought to you by Paddy Power. A bookie's a website and an app. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly and remember to do so with Paddy Power. Tonight I have Karl, I have Keith, and I have Grizz to join us at some stage as well. And tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. You've seen the World 11s, you've seen your favourite players, your favourite five-a-sides, your favourite player from certain countries. But what about the one-season wonders in the Premier League? Players that, literally done it for one season and then fell off a cliff or moved on and just weren't great. Loads of different players to go through tonight. And we'll see how Karl, Grizz and Keith got on with their homework. Here we go. And here we go. I didn't pick a team, just to let people know. Keith just asked me that in the intro. Did you pick a team? I went, no. I'm not picking a team for this one. I done the World 11 last week. I had polls coming out of my ears. I had players coming out of my ears. And more abuse than anyone could ever deal with. But look, this is what we're going to do. It's something a bit different. Things aren't great at the moment around the world. So we're just trying to do podcasts as much as we possibly can on different subjects and have a bit of crack as we go. Keith, how are you?
I'm good, Gav. Yourself?
I'm great. Apart from golf courses being closed today, I'm great.
Yeah, that's it. It's hit you hard, hasn't it? It's really come home to roost by it today.
It's really fucking hit me hard. The golf courses closing was the last straw. It really was. I want everyone off the I want everyone off the streets now. I didn't mind if they gathered and queued for fish and chips in coastal areas. I didn't mind if they went out and they hung around in gangs in playgrounds. But when golf courses are being closed because of these people's actions, that's when I draw the line. There's plenty of people in already. David Lennon says, anybody home, put the kettle on. Avo says, all right, Gavin, guests, all right, trippers. Kevin Sullivan says, evening lads, glad you're back on. Need the distraction. There you go. We're only being saying that in the intro. It's a good distraction. We'll try to get on as much as we can, talk about as much as we can, as random as we want, really, in these times of no football. But the lads, Karl, I'll come to you first, and we'll add Grizz in, as I said, as we go along. But Karl, I gave you a couple of days' notice on this. You took it whatever way you wanted to. You could go any way you wanted with it. Premier League, one-season wonders. You can, whatever comes into your mind, we're not going to argue, but we're just going to talk about players, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm going to let you go first, Karl. Goalkeeper I want, but was it difficult doing this?
Yeah, it was, because I looked at like Massimo Taibbi, but he actually only played 4 times for United.
Right.
Which stunned me, because I thought he was there for at least half a season or something. And the goalkeeper I've gone for is actually famed for not playing very much, but he had one really good season. And obviously, not everything is to do with Liverpool on this, but I've gone for Peggy Ofexad.
Okay.
Because he had one good season for Leicester, but now I think about it, I think he just had some really good games against us, which is why we signed him. But in the season he played, he only had 11. He had 11 starts that year, and I talk about this a lot because I think I've written about Peggy Ofexad in the past. But can I ask you, he had like a 12-year career. How many league starts did Peggy Ofexad have his entire career?
Oh, right.
It's amazing. It's amazing, honestly.
Straight in with a question. Right. I'm going to go for 12 years. I'm going to go with 26.
46.
Right, a little bit more than I thought.
He played 46 games.
Okay.
In his entire career, and don't forget he was paid handsomely every week during that career. So yeah, I've gone for him basically because he did play a few games for us, but we bought him on the strength of one good year when he only played a quarter of the games anyway for Leicester, and that was his lot.
That's unbelievable. 46 games, you're going for Peggy Ofexad. Grizz has joined us. He said he was running a few minutes late, but now he has arrived. Grizz, you're very, very welcome, and I'll let you settle in there for a second while I ask Keith for his goalkeeper in one-season wonders.
Nice one, pal. No problem. Just quick, what's the format? One player at a time?
Yeah, one player at a time. So Karl has gone with Peggy Arfexad, who astonishingly had 46 games in a 12-year career. He played 46 starts in a 12-year career, which is unbelievable. Keith is next. So, Keith, who are you going with?
I'm going for Ali Al-Habsi. He's had a lot more starts and is still playing, but I'm going for Ali Al-Habsi in the 2010-11 season. He went on loan to Wigan.
Yeah, the Egyptian lad, yeah.
Yeah, he won that Player of the Year that season.
That's right.
On loan from Bolton, and then they signed him, and next season he lost his place to Joe Robles, which is sort of a little kick if ever there was one. So if that's not falling off a cliff, which I'm sure a lot of our team will have players that have fallen off cliffs. But yeah, I went for Al-Habsi. He was very good. He started off at Bolton, and he came in, played a few games for them. Intermittent. UC Escaloina was injured. He played a few games, done well. And then he, like I said, he went to Wigan and he really had a good go. He was their Player of the Year. So he really made an impression there. Not that was probably hard at the time, but, someone had to win it. And just went to shite then after that. And he's still playing. He's at West Brom at the moment, 38 years old.
Really? Bloody hell.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Come here. Is he the guy that we were linked with? We were definitely linked with an Egyptian or, was it him?
Oman. He was an Omani international.
Right.
Could have been him, yeah, because we usually sign a bleeding keeper if they have a decent game against us, don't we? So, yeah.
Peggy Arfexad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam Bogdan.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Adam Bogdan is... I don't even think he's had a good season. I don't think he qualifies. Nah. But that's a great show. I have a feeling we were linked with him. I'm being honest with you. Grizz, who are you going with?
So, I went for someone different, but after listening to the two candidates so far, I've changed my mind.
Right. Well, who did you go with?
Well, I went with Carlo Cudicini.
Carlo Cudicini.
Okay. Interesting.
He had one good season from what I can remember, like when I was looking through the keepers at Chelsea. But then I changed my mind because like the Keith shot was brilliant. So I have actually gone for something different. I'm going for Pickford.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm so happy. I'm so fucking happy someone did this because I was waiting for it to go without Pickford being named.
No, but it's true because he's come off a brilliant season, one season, right, and where he was made England's number one, Everton's superhero.
30 million quid.
Yeah. And he's absolutely gone to shit, hasn't he, since?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think he's not going to recover either. So I think Pickford definitely deserves a spot as a goalkeeper in my one season wonders.
Mm.
Can I give you a fact about Jordan Pickford?
Of course.
I really like, and it's not his fault. When he makes a save at obviously when we played him at the derby at Goodison, when he makes a save on their big screen it says England's number one.
See, there you go.
Every time he makes a save.
Every time he does something good, the big screen at Goodison says England's number one.
Seriously.
Wow. That's going to impress the locals, isn't it?
Okay. David Lennon points out that Peggy Arfexad was the man that wore the tracksuit bottoms. Kevin O'Sullivan says,
No, that was Thomas Kuszak.
Well, Kuszak did Arfexad not wear them as well, though?
No, I don't think he did, no.
Arfexad wore jeans and a pair of brogues, probably.
Lads, I could be horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. Right? As I often am.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm warning you. But isn't Peggy... or hasn't he been a porn star at some stage in his career?
He makes biological documentaries, yeah.
There you go.
Biological documentaries. Brilliant.
There you go.
Okay. Kerry has got us into the top four and to a Champions League final as well as a fair amount of clean sheets. Could Kerry's go down as a one season wonder? I think I think the wonder all disappeared very, very quickly towards the end.
I wouldn't call it something. He got up to average.
Okay.
He did finish the season wonderful, the very last playing game, so unlucky.
Yeah. David Lennon backs up the fact that Peggy Arfexad did indeed wear tracksuit bottoms. But Kuszak was definitely one, and now Allison is just doing it, looking amazing with black gear on him. He looks great.
Corrali as well. Gabor Corali always wore tracksuit bottoms.
Corali, yeah, he did as well. Yeah, you're right.
He was the original, wasn't he? He was the one. He was the same.
No. The original for me in the English league was McCloskey used to wear them. An awful lot. And also, Dimitri Karian used to wear them a lot for Chelsea, if I remember right.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So there's loads to wear. If you can think of any more goalkeepers that wore tracksuit bottoms, absolutely throw them at us.
Show itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a show in itself. Tracksuit bottoms on goalkeepers. Karl, I'll come back to you for. You can name both fullbacks. We'll do both fullbacks as we go.
Well, to be honest, I've just gone defenders.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm going to say that they might have played fullback at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go for Titus Bramble.
Okay. Good show.
Because when he was at Ipswich, he was a really, really good player. Then he's probably the archetypal person who got the big move and got found out really quickly.
Yeah.
And he's still the only person I've ever seen when he's come on for the opposition at Anfield that the ground applauded him on.
Yeah.
that took some doing, and he scored that game as well against us.
Yeah. Bramble is a really good show. He came up through the ranks at Ipswich and looked a real player. He did actually look a real player, and goes to Newcastle for a fair amount of money. Am I right?
Yeah,
fair bit. Yeah,
and then is just all over the shop. Now, having said that, most defenders at Newcastle from around 1998 till about now do look a shambles. Let's be honest about it. It's just the way Newcastle are and the way they play football, and I use that term loosely. But it was. Yeah, Bramble is a good show. I have to say, he is a good show. I don't know where he finished his career. I should really have this up on the laptop, but I know he went
to Wigan for a while.
Yeah, I remember him at Wigan. I don't remember him anything after that. Your first defender, Keith?
Right, so I went with formation. So I'll go with a fullback. My right back in my team is our very own John Flanagan.
It's a great show. Dylan O'Rourke in the chat says John Flanagan. He said it. He has it. Literally, it's the last comment that's being made here. It was literally a one season, wasn't it?
It was 14-14. It's the only season that he's played over 10 games until this season with Rangers in his career. He played 20 for us that season. He cemented it, and it was the only time he got into double figures. He really was a bleeding flash in the pan, and was very good. Like, he was excellent that season, and he just never kicked on. Genuinely like a real one season wonder. He's had a decent enough career. You know what I mean? He's went to Burnley. He's at Rangers. He's not that old, but he just never really.
But it was. I mean, it was. That injury did kill him. He did have a very, very serious injury. And then, obviously, after that, he was just never the same, which was fairly decent in the first place. It wasn't excellent or brilliant, was it, in the first place? He was just very... he fit that system. He sort of... Didn't he play left back a couple of times as well for us?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, I think he covered at left back. So he's one of those sort of, get those tackles snapped in and, after his injuries. I'm butting in because I've got him as well. So we're not going to linger on him too much. Because I've got
no worries. And he tops it off. And like he's probably the definition of a player running on adrenaline for a season. Because it wasn't ability. And then he tops it off by scoring at Spurs.
And he
highlight of his career, without doubt.
Yeah.
Little honk on him and all.
Yeah. Go on, Karl.
He captains us. He captains us against Southampton. He had one game and he was absolutely awful.
Yes, he does.
The Sadio Mane hat-trick against us.
Yeah. Is that the one where we're 2-0 up?
2-0 up, yeah.
And we have a goal that's allowed to make it 3-0, and then we end up losing a 3-2. Yeah, I remember.
We should hold him in high esteem then, because I think that's the game that Sadio Mane caught our attention as well. So thanz for that, Flano.
Well played, yeah.
I don't think it's all down to him, I'm going to be honest.
No, it really wasn't.
Grizz, who's your first defender? Well, you've done Flanagan, so give me another one.
So I've gone Flanagan. I've also got Titus Bramble, so nothing to discuss about him.
Okay.
Titus Bramble, but my other defender is Wes Morgan as a centre back. What a stunning season he had with Leicester City.
Yeah.
But that's it, isn't it?
Shite before it. Yeah. Great for that season and brutal afterwards.
Oh yeah. I mean, how many goals did he score as well from set pieces and commanding? I think he captained them, isn't he? Was he captain of the Leicester?
Yeah, he captains them to the league title. Yeah.
Yeah. So he lifted the trophy.
Yeah, so I thought Morgan alongside Bramble would be my two centre backs.
And I think he scores an equaliser at Old Trafford that season, doesn't he?
Oh, many a crucial goal.
If I remember right, I think he does. I think he gets an equalising goal at Old Trafford. in that season where they win the title. It's a good show. It is a good show, Wes Morgan, because like he literally won the league with them, and then they just went, right, you're on the bench from here on in, because you know we've literally ran out of all the luck we could possibly have with you. So Wes Morgan goes in there. So their backline: Bramble, Flanagan, Wes Morgan. Karl, give us another one.
Ryan Sessegnon.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah.
They've got so many fullbacks at Spurs. I can't see him getting on, and he gets on for like 30 seconds at a time, and he's obviously a decent player. So I'm claiming him as Fulham's own Ryan Sessegnon.
Okay.
When he was all right for that year. I just don't see. They've got like Ben Davis already. They've got tons of fullbacks. Danny Rose is out on loan, obviously.
Mm-hmm. They'll play him forward up, but he won't get a sniff up either. And
even then, they'd have to like drop someone quite big for them to play centre mid.
Yeah, he's big enough for it, isn't he?
No, I think he's a really, really good pub player.
Yeah,
as in a good championship player. I go that far about that.
Yeah, we were linked with him as well, and he's got in a little bit under Mourinho at left back, mainly because he let Rose go. Obviously, he's had his issues with Vertonghen there, and the other fella is not good. Is it Davis? Is that?
I think that's a bit hard.
Davis, yeah.
I think Sessegnon going at once. I think Sessegnon to go in a one season wonder. He's still young.
Well, he's had one good season.
Yeah, but he's not gone anywhere yet. He's still got his career ahead of him.
Yeah, but
Karl doesn't see it.
I
don't see it.
He's putting his neck on the line here. He really is. Avo asks, why do any suggestions or messages with swearing in it get rejected? You lot F and Jeff all over the place. It's not fair. That's nothing to do with us. That's
you bollocks.
That's that's YouTube, mate. YouTube will literally just scan all the stuff, and if they see anything, they will reject it. And trust me, Avo, when I finish this show and I go to do some editing and I go into YouTube, it just tells me, don't even think about trying to, put this up for ads or anything like it, because it's not happening. And I just go, okay, and move on. Let me see. Avo says he can't say Konchesky without swearing, which is a very good point, and I will put that to YouTube in the very near future. Ryan Sessegnon is an interesting one, but look, we'll probably come back in a couple of years and you can tell Karl he was completely off the wall. Or
I'm more than happy with that.
I just don't see it. Yeah. Right, we have a lot of defenders in. Keith, what else have you got left defenders-wise? If you have 2 left or 3 left, throw them all at us and we'll have a look.
I've 3 left, right? So first off, my left back I went for Silvinho from Arsenal, the 99-2000 season. He'd signed for them that season, and he breaks in and does quite well. He gets into the PFA Team of the Year, but the next season actually Cole breaks through, and it sort of puts an end to Silvinho's time at Arsenal. So
I loved him, to be honest. I thought he was really good.
Player,
I absolutely loved him.
So brief, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of my team aren't shit. I'll just throw that out here now. Like, I'll give you my next defender, for example, is Fernando Hierro. And Fernando Hierro at Bolton.
Yeah, good shout, yeah.
He was very good, and then he retired at the end of that season. Bolton, Sam Allardyce wanted him to stay. The fans were going petitions and all that the days before, flying airplanes over stadiums and all that, but they were going mad for him to stay, and he just called it a day, So he was one of my other defenders, and I'll give you my last defender now as well while I'm here, is Taribo West. Taribo West signed for that in 2001. He signed on loan for a short-term loan, but he extended it, and I think it was mad season, November or something, he signed him on loan, and they were in the relegation zone, and when they signed him they got 31 points from a possible 42, and got them to safety, and he was a bit of a catalyst for them at the back. Now, a bit of a head case, but that was it, one season, and then he fucked off. He was only on loan, but he never came back, but he had a big impact on them for that 1 year.
Yeah,
so that was my defence there.
It's a good show. Somebody asked, sorry, Grizz, somebody asked there, didn't Silvinho do well at Barcelona afterwards? Yeah, but we're taking whatever twist we want on this. It can be someone that was just appalling and had a good season and was appalling each side of that, i.e. Wes Morgan, or it could be someone that, had a really good season in the Premier League and then just disappeared, i.e. Silvinho goes off to Barcelona. It's just one good season in the Premier League. We're taking whatever twist we want. There's some good stuff there. Grizz, Hierro, he didn't make it near our World 11 nominations last week.
That's what I was just going to say.
Go on.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable that we didn't mention him in the short list or the long list.
Yeah, but he was brilliant.
But I think everyone's... Has Karl finished his back four?
Karl has.
I've got a few to go.
He's got a few to go.
So yes, I've got my left back to go, which is I've gone for Luis Figueroa. Remember him from Wigan?
Main or Figueroa.
Wigan are doing really well tonight.
He scored. I think he scored probably one of the goals of the season, or he was known for like sort of absolute crackerjacks, wasn't he?
He scored one. Doesn't he score one away at Sunderland?
Yeah,
there's a Sunderland where he lamps one. Yeah, he just absolutely mills one from about 50 yards. But
it's a free kick, wasn't he? He just drops it down or something and then just blends it in.
Yeah, so linked with every top club. I think you know where he went. I'm not as organised and prepared.
He could have gone to Spurs, actually. Did he go to Spurs?
No,
I don't think he did. No.
Grizz, you're drifting in and out badly there. But
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think he went to Spurs, but yeah, I know he went AWOL after that season where he scored those spectacular goals.
Yeah.
So I think he deserves a left-back spot there.
Okay, Kevin Sullivan says you could throw Ivan Campo in if you're going to throw Hierro in as well. I think Campo was there a little bit longer though, was he?
He was, yeah, and he was there that year that Hierro came. It was Steve McMahon actually, and Campo got Hierro over to Bolton, but Campo had stayed a couple of years and was actually quite good when he was there.
Yeah.
To be fair, Campo played a lot in midfield before Sam. That was Sam when he was actually half decent and whilst being innovative, and I think he reverted him to he changed him to a DM.
Yeah, and was that the stage where Bolton were messing about with the likes of Campo, Hierro, Georgiev, JJ Okocha, Stanakopoulos and stuff like that? Was it Stanakopoulos? Giannakopoulos?
Yeah.
I know you mean. I do know you mean. Yeah, he was good as well.
He was the bald fella. He was really good.
Yeah.
He win. Doesn't he win a Euros in 2004?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Grizz,
yeah.
He does, yeah.
He does, yeah. But yeah, no, Hierro was an amazing player. But I know where you're coming from with that. And Figueroa, like you said, I remember one goal I think he scored when he just hits it from about 50 yards, and I think it might have been away at Sunderland. But then again, it mightn't have been because I have that fella off Portsmouth with the left foot, Matt Taylor, that done something similar up in Sunderland as well, so I could be wrong. Maybe Figueroa scored it against Portsmouth, I'm not too sure. But, Karl, you have a couple left. Who have you got?
This is going to be controversial because I've just realised the audience I'm talking to here. So I've gone for a Liverpool-Irish player.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Phil Babb at Coventry.
Oh, yeah.
He was phenomenal before the '94 World Cup. And then he was all right for us. Obviously, he left his bollock in the post at the Anfield Road end once. So you've got to give him credit for that. But he wasn't the money that he was on there, really. And the other one I've gone for is Laurent Blanc at United.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
Lost his first 5 games or something that I remember, and he's definitely responsible for them getting over the FA Cup that year as well. I think he might have stayed an extra year, but I'm not entirely sure on that. But he was just old and slow. Ferguson wanted him when he was younger and finally got him at the age of 35 or something.
Yeah,
and he was just painfully slow.
Blanc is a proper shout, and Phil Babb is most definitely one because he does have that one season.
Another one unlucky is out on our world team as well.
Yeah, Blanc. Blanc,
Blanc.
Yeah, not Bab.
Larry White.
No,
Blanc. His name is Larry White. Really,
Blanc was a brilliant defender in his day. He really was. But I know what you're saying. He was really the tail end of his career when he gets to United.
Yeah.
Bab does have that big season at Coventry. Goes to the World Cup. And him and McGrath are really, really good together, specifically against...
Fantastic in '94. He was absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant. The two of them together in the opening game against Italy were unbelievable. And then he signs for Liverpool, and then it just all goes badly wrong. He's played in the back four. He's played as a 3 centre-halves. He even plays sometimes a left wing-back. It's not happening. He's a good footballer, Phil Babb. Actually a good footballer.
And quick.
Yeah.
But he needed to be quick because of the mistakes he was making because his position was so bad.
He hadn't got it in the head whatsoever. Joe loves the show. Thanks a million, Joe. Avo says, great players go to Wigan, have a great 4th season, then fall foul of the Pies and the Whippets. They fall off the edge of the world. Okay, if that's what happens in Wigan, condolences to anyone that signed for Wigan. Have we all got all our defenders out of our system?
Yeah.
Grizz, you have, because
mate.
They were all picked. Right, into midfield. So, Grizz, I'll stay with you. I'll let you have first go on this scene, as that you were last to go on the first one. So, midfielders, Grizz, throw them at me.
So I've gone for a authentic old school 4-4-2.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want my two midfielders or one?
Yeah, whatever you want.
So basically, because I've gone for a 4-4-2, I'll just mention both my two midfielders. I've gone for a brilliant combination of Drinkwater and Emerson. And Emerson Middlesbrough. Remember him?
Yeah. And
he looked good though, didn't he, Emerson? He just looked good.
Yeah.
Emerson's every touch. But off the ball, he was absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
But whilst he was on the ball, he was beautiful. He was lovely. You know, I think they won 2 cups reached 2 finals, didn't they, in that season?
And got relegated.
Yeah. The social media would have been a cruel mistress to Emerson, wouldn't they, if they were around in his
know the hipsters would have loved him, yeah. He was the original hipsters player, Emerson. And Drinkwater speaks for itself, doesn't he? He's just what can you say? He's the ultimate one season wonder in terms of wins the league with Leicester, magnificent, gets his big money move to Chelsea. Yeah, gets the big money move to Chelsea and
ends up on loan at Burnley and then at Aston Villa.
Is he at Aston Villa now? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
So I thought they were.
Yeah, I've got Drinkwater as well, I should say.
Good stuff. That's a good mix actually, because Drinkwater is just a one-season job at Leicester, and he was brilliant with Kante in the middle of midfield. And then you have Emerson, who was a fantastic footballer on the ball, but you're right, Grizz. He'd no interest in chasing the ball or being in a shape. He just wanted to run around and give me the ball when you get it. Brilliant shout on both of them. Drinkwater, it's just so weird because I think he's the first one out of Leicester. He goes first and goes to Chelsea, and Kante hangs on, doesn't he? And ends up following him. But Drinkwater then ends up at Burnley. I think he ends up in a massive row at Burnley, goes back, and then he's at Villa now. And look where Villa are. You know, the only thing stopping them from relegation, in my opinion, is COVID-19. So it's a really good show. And Dylan O'Rourke says, "Grizz, what a show on Drinkwater." Karl, go on, give us your midfielders.
I will throw in one that I know Keith's got already. Charlie Adam. For Blackpool, not for us, obviously. Where he was good. He was great. That game at Anfield, he was great for them. He really was.
Yeah.
I've also gone for Juan Sebastian Veron at Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right at United, did absolutely nothing for Chelsea.
Yeah.
I was going to go for Gary McAllister. But he had good seasons for us.
Yeah, he had great seasons at Leeds. He won a league at Leeds.
I can't really count for him.
Coventry and all, he was top notch.
Yeah. But what I did earlier before, I spoke to a mate who's a Forest fan, and I explained all this to him, and he had the same choices as me. And he said, "You might get shouted down for this, but trust me on this. Go for Brian Roy." He said, because the second Collymore went, he was awful.
Yeah.
It's a great show. Forgot all about Brian Roy.
As well.
Yeah.
And when you said Brian Roy, straight away I thought of do you remember the guy, was he at Ajax and he went to Ipswich? Was it Finidi George?
Finidi George, yeah.
He had a really good season. I think he made a good season at Ipswich, even I think he went down.
Well, he was great at the 94 World Cup, wasn't he? And that's how he got his move sorted. He done the celebration when he scored where he pretended he was a dog and lifted his leg, didn't he, Finidi George? I think he done that, the dog pissing celebration.
Was that
I already like him.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but I think he does end up at Ipswich, and he has a decent. I'm nearly sure it was Finidi George, and he ends up there, and he has a decent season for them. Kev O'Sullivan says you have to have Drinkwater in there, and another shout. I don't know whether he's in anyone's midfield, but Jack Rodwell is a shout.
Yeah, I thought about him.
Jack Rodwell is a shout. It sprung back to fame, didn't he, in the whole Sunderland
I just
documentary series.
He didn't reach the heights of a Drinkwater or Emerson.
Yeah, but
it was a shout.
But Jack Rodwell, after a season at Everton, was being touted as, big money moves to the likes of Manchester United.
He was actually a very good player who's just absolutely cursed with injuries, wasn't he? He was actually very two-footed, very cultured on the ball, great engineer. He had everything. I did actually like him as a player, even though he was at Everton. But bloody hell, was he cursed with injuries or what?
Stephen O'Connor says 2 guy. Dylan O'Rourke says Moamba. Kev O'Sullivan says Arshavin, but he was more of a forward than a left midfielder.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
I'm going to be reading these out because I've got probably some of these are probably in our team.
Yeah, no, I'm just throwing them out there. If they are in your team, you can absolutely say they are. Ian has realised that you can swear on Twitter, i.e. Periscope rather than YouTube, so there you go. And he just says Konchesky is shy, so he's in there. He's got it off his chest. Keith, who have you got midfield me?
Right, so I went with more of a 4-4-2, but with a midfield diamond. So we'll give Charlie Adam, as Karl said. I had all over Charlie Adam, absolute shite bag when he came to us. But that year that he was at Blackpool, the 2010-11 season, he was amazing that year. He got 12 goals, 8 assists. His set piece deliveries were bleeding mustard that season. And then he was on the Player of the Year shortlist that year. No, wasn't he? Really?
Made up when we bought him.
We tried to bleed and get him on the cheap, didn't we? Holloway went mad, and he rinsed us for every penny, and it was one of the worst deals we've ever fucking done.
And then Ferguson went in and pretended to be interested to push up the money as well.
Yeah. His set pieces are worth 10 million alone, and then bleeding listen to him and pump the money in. But he was fucking dirt, wasn't he? He was muck.
Yeah.
After
the worst penalty I've ever seen as well.
Yeah. For a man he was a good penalty taker that was supposedly before he came to us. Do you ever see the state of him? He looks like a 50-year-old alcoholic now. Do you see him playing for Reading these days?
I saw that photo today, actually. You're looking for something else. It is like someone's let the granddad on the pitch who's just been let out on day release.
I didn't even realise he was still playing football. I thought he just knocked her on the head after Stoke. Because where do you go from there?
He's ridiculously young, that fella.
Yeah. It's mad. But he's the definite shout in midfield, Charlie Adam. Who else have you got?
I went for one that's not shit. That was actually brilliant for one season. Esteban Cambiaso playing for Leicester.
That's a great shout, yeah.
Nice one.
15, he was brilliant for them.
He was against us as well. He absolutely ran that game, even though we won the game when we played them there. He was so good that game.
He was brilliant. He was absolutely how he even got there. Like he was very, very. He was a quality player. I know he lost his way a little bit in that he was at big clubs, but wasn't maybe playing as regular as he'd like. And he pitches up at Leicester.
Who was the coach at Leicester then? And then when they got him?
Is either Pearson?
It was Pearson, yeah.
Pearson, yeah.
Wow, but makes it even more stranger, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's gone for the name manager there. You mean that's what Pearson wants me? That's good enough for me.
Yeah,
exactly. That's some combination there, Pearson.
But didn't they with Cambiaso? Like Keith says there, he was brilliant, and they were trying to get him on a deal to keep him.
Yeah, they were mad to keep him. He got 5 goals for them from holding midfield, which was, he wasn't known as being a goal scorer, and he did 30 odd games. He got 5 goals, which was very good, and he won their Player of the Year. But he left after the year, and he went to Olympiacos. Like it wasn't even that. He went for the big move. Do you know what I mean? It must be the European football and maybe the weather or something. You know what I mean? It could have been that he did.
Poor scouting from everyone there. Yeah, poor scouting from everyone there. Not to pick him up after that. That's a great shout actually. And you're right. He was playing in a sort of deeper role, and then he kept popping up to score goals as well, which was
very good. Yeah.
So you've gone with Cambiaso and Charlie Adam. Karl. Who else have you got?
I've done my midfield.
Have you done the whole lot?
Yeah, I did a lot. Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay.
I got Brian Roy. Don't forget.
You threw him in.
Charlie Adam, and I took out Gary McAllister through.
Yeah.
Realised it was silly.
Yeah. Okay. Right, Grizz. What midfielders
and drink water.
Got left?
Well, I've got 4-4-2, so I've picked my 2 central midfielders. On the flanks, I've got Charles and Zogbia. And playing on the right, so he was brilliant at cutting in and then just sort of
former Wigan again.
Say again, sorry.
Former Wigan.
Wigan, another Wigan prodigy. Where did he go? He signed
Newcastle.
He went to Villa.
Newcastle
and Villa.
Yeah. So again, another one who's went to Newcastle and turned shit. Well,
I'd say it'd be hard pressed to find anyone to say a good word about him.
Who's that? Sorry.
Yeah, like Charles and Zogby, I'd say even his mother would be hard pushed to tell you a good word about him.
But he was you know what? He did have a sparkling season, didn't he, for Wigan? And on the other side, I've gone for Albert Riera, our very own Albert Riera.
Okay.
I thought he had a very good season with us, didn't he? And when Torres and Gerrard were the sort of ripping up the league. Albert Riera was doing a very, very decent job on the left there.
He had a great debut.
Never the quickest, but absolute technician. Very underrated, I thought. Great little signing by Rafa there. I thought he was very good on the ball, cultured. I thought Riera, but then I just don't know what happened to him. He kind of just.
I've heard rumours.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't we? You did say before this we won't get sued, but listen, let's not test that.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air.
Yeah, tell us off air. There's loads of names coming in. They're more attackers, but Benny McCarthy's in there, Jeremy Goss, Bojan, Stephen Ireland is in there, which I think is a really good show. Mellor is in there as well. And Dylan O'Rourke just says he loved Riera and also remember Morelos. I think he's just reminiscing about Morelos there, not trying to throw them in the team. Two good shouts from Grizz there. I like the Nzogby one. I really like the Nzogby one. Keith, who have you got left in midfield, if any?
So I went for the diamond. So I had Cambiasso sitting deepest, Charlie Adamov to the left. To the right, I went for Dimitri Payet. Because Dimitri Payet. And for West Ham 15-16, he was brilliant. He got 9 goals, 12 assists.
He scored the weirdest free kick I've ever seen.
Which one?
He scores a free kick against Palace, and it might be the opening day of the season, I think, or early in the season, and he hits this free kick from about 25 yards left of centre, and the thing disappears off fucking camera and ends up in the top corner.
Yeah,
that's how high it went.
Have you seen that from behind the goal?
Yes, it's
absolutely nuts, that goal back, because you see the ball leave his foot and then you just don't see it until it hits you in the face.
You leave it leaves.
There's no trajectory at all.
When it leaves his foot, you're half expecting it to be one of those where there's a woman in the crowd eating a sandwich and she's not watching and it hits her square in the face. And this thing literally
so which technique did he use?
Disappears off the
screen. Did he use the Cristiano Ronaldo? Did he use that Cristiano Ronaldo technique? Where,
he just no. He just hit this with his instep and it just. I swear to God, go and watch it. It nearly leaves the screen. The ball goes that high and then ends up in the top corner. It's mental.
No, he scored a few screamers, to be fair to him.
He did, but it's the weirdest free kick I've ever seen.
He did, but the second season then at West Ham, now he leaves them, I think, in the January window, but he
leaves just after they play Blackburn in a cup game at Ewood Park. I think I remember him there. And then it's just gone.
I think, wasn't he, I don't know, did he start for France or something? Was there the Euros that year?
I think so.
He did.
And he was in the team and all. I think he got a bit Billy Big Bollocks there, didn't he?
It's the year that they lose to Portugal, isn't it? In the final.
No, it's the year they win it. They win the World Cup.
No, not the World Cup, it's the Euros. They lose to Portugal in extra time.
Yeah.
Ronaldo goes off early.
Yeah. It was, and Ting done well for them as well, didn't he? Your man off Spurs, Sissoko.
The lad that runs around,
Yeah, him. So I went for Payet there, and the final one I went for, I'm surprised no one has gone for him, but maybe being as up front, is Michu.
Right. You're putting him in the midfield diamond.
The number 10, yeah.
He was the number 9.
Michu was a bleeding midfielder.
No, he wasn't.
I'm with Keith.
Michu was a Michu was an midfielder.
No. Michu was I have a feeling Michu was the sort of fella like Paul Warhurst was, where he played a centre half and he went, listen, when you go up front one day, and he was brilliant. I'm nearly sure he was.
Michu was a midfielder who just scored a load of goals.
And
he
so they stuck him. What happened was that he was originally number 10, a floaty number 10. And then he actually, because he scored so many goals, they thought, sod this for a laugh. He's quite good at putting the ball in the net. And then they put him up front. That's what they've done. They started playing him up front.
So he played, but he was a midfielder. He got, in his 12-13 season, he got 18 league goals, 22 in all competitions, which was brilliant, for a midfielder.
It's saying here that he is known as a striker or attacking midfielder. And funnily enough, he's the secretary of Real Oviedo. So
there you go.
Some uses information.
So he's in my team at the tip of the diamond, and he's also like that. He got a lot of goals, and then the second season he only got 2 goals. He was absolute pony,
right.
And to say that he fell off the cliff.
Gav, further proof that he was a midfielder. he was my absolute diamond in that year in the Fantasy Premier League because he was down as a midfielder. And
Okay.
The amount of goals and assists he got for me made me reach, and this is fact, I finished 52nd. 52nd in the whole country I finished that year.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay, no worries.
I just thought I'd throw that one in.
No, well, look, it's not like you to throw your impressive stats around the place.
Correct.
You've everyone knows about your cricketing medals, your trophies.
Add this one.
Your trial at Brisbane Road, i.e. Leighton Orient, and many other sporting achievements.
He's a pill shark as well.
Pill shark as well, and he is waiting on a call from the English Cricket Board to see if he can play for England in the 2020, and if he doesn't get that, he's telling Pakistan that he's willing to play for them. Isn't that right?
Pakistan.
All absolutely true, and bizarre at the same time. Right, you've gone with the diamonds. You've put Michu in there. Fair enough. Michu was a great show. He literally scores all them goals. I think within about 18 months he's in the Spanish third division, messing about somewhere.
That's it. He goes on loan to Napoli and does fuck all there, and then comes and signs for an amateur Spanish team.
Yeah,
not even a league team, an amateur team.
Yeah,
madness.
But he was probably just one of those little lads that went, listen, I had me fun. I wasn't very
he looked
good.
Like a surfer or something, didn't he? Just look like a bit of a beach bum.
Yeah, he definitely drove a Renault Clio Rip Curl. I think something like along them lines, I think would be a good show for the vehicle of choice for Michu. Right.
He did play for Rayo Vallecano, who are my Spanish team.
Rayo Vallecano, brilliant. Are they the ones in the white and red, i.e. they look a bit like Peru?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't Ronaldo he's via the lead. Ronaldo's the president or the owner or something.
Okay. Via the Lid is a really good name, and I always enjoyed the Northern Ireland fella, Jerry, what's his name? Jerry Armstrong, saying all these names in a Northern Irish accent. Saying
that is quite something.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's a bit like Rafa Benitez saying the word squad. But
have you heard Gabriel Marcotti say Roberto Martinez?
No.
I like the way he says that. And I also like his theory that he's either, it depends on how he's doing. It's either Paul Lambert or Paul Lambert.
Okay, right, yeah. I love.
If he's good, he's Paul Lambert.
But that's the thing. Like when I love all them sort of things, especially when you see like Stephen McLaren trying to talk as if he's Dutch, and Joey Barton trying to pretend he had French in his family history going way back. I think Karl's done his midfield. I think Keith has now done his midfield. Grizz, have any midfielders left me?
No, I've done my. I've just got my two target men left. Forwards left. So.
Okay, well go on. Give me your two forward men.
Oh, do you want to finish Karl's midfield?
No, I'm done. I did all mine. I did all mine in one go.
He just went. Listen, lads. Brian Roy, right? Charlie Adam, that I'm robbing off Keith. Danny Drinkwater. Oh yeah, that sounds good. I'll take Danny Drinkwater, and then took Gary McAllister out.
I don't remember any of Karl's midfield.
No, I know because you were having a breakdown of your equipment. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, basically, I knew. Michu would be in everyone's team, so I went for someone different, but who was equally as sensational as a one-season wonder, Amir Zaki.
Oh,
ex-Wigan.
Again from Wigan.
Wigan are great, aren't they?
Yeah, Wigan are amazing.
But he was sensational in one season.
I have another one for you. I hope no one picks it.
Every weekend you check up on the goal scorers, and Amir Zaki.
He scored a brilliant goal at Anfield, if I remember rightly, as well.
I was in the second row. That ball would have hit me in the face at the time.
He scored a brilliant goal. I think Liverpool win the game.
We were 2-1 down. We won 3-2. Yeah. Daniel Agger made a massive mistake for the first goal.
Did scored the equaliser. Late winner in that.
Yeah,
I think But Zaki,
an absolute P-roller,
yeah. Zaki's a great show, and again, Grizz, if you remember rightly, he was the sort of player that was scoring many goals, and people were like, "Oh, he's going to get this big move." That the reaction to him was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, he was. I mean, he was the original Egyptian king. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
He should have been. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened. Does anybody know what happened to him?
I'm going to look him up now.
He was pretty shit now, in all fairness.
Well, Karl is on the case for Amir Zaki.
I'll tell you what, he was a powerhouse of a striker. He wasn't one of these. He wasn't one of these technical, gifted technicians. He was almost like the sort of. The Egyptian Shearer, sort of. He was all power and pace, and he was. I don't know how many goals.
Just the 280 less goals than Shearer in the Premier League, but literally the Egyptian Shearer.
In Miyazaki's top season, he got 10 goals.
Yeah.
Stylistically.
Kev O'Sullivan says Grizz has a man crush on Dave Whelan. Dylan O'Rourke says if you put all of Wigan's one season wonders into a squad, they're definitely winning League Two. And he says then, poor Wigan. It's just a Wigan 11, says Philip Weaver. It really is. Like, it's the amount of them that were at Wigan. It's unbelievable.
I'm just looking at his career now. He only played about 25 games after he left Wigan. He went to Hull. Yeah. Then just lots of teams I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
Al Zagzibor.
Yeah.
ENPPI. Al Samia. Raya Casablanca.
He went to the Middle East. Just had a laugh.
Al Ahed, and Al Mokalu, other places he went.
All the lads he went to play with.
All the lads. Three more goals in his career.
Keith, I wasn't comparing his stats to Shearer. Come on, I was talking.
I know.
Yeah, but that's what
it was a powerful striker.
But that's what we're going to tell the world, Grizz. That we've made our mind up. Who's your second striker, Grizz?
So I went for it was a close call between Benny McCarthy, but I went for Papi Cisse instead.
Okay.
The fella at Newcastle.
Okay.
You're talking about weird trajectory of goals and shots.
Yeah.
Well, does anyone remember his
Chelsea?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, some would
from the throw-in line.
Some say, did he mean it? Some say, it was fluke or it was a cross or even a clearance.
I think he does mean it.
That was the second in that game. He got a cracker. His fourth one, and that was a dinger.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was another one-season wonder at Newcastle, and they thought they've got a star on their hands, and again just totally vanished from the scene after that one amazing season.
The Egyptian Shearer, I can see all the goals and skills compilations now, says Dylan O'Rourke.
Check it out.
Ian says, have you ever been to Wigan? Shithole. That's all I've got to say about that. Ian is just delighted that he can curse and he can use expletives because he's gone through Periscope as opposed to YouTube. Kev O'Sullivan has thrown in some names there. I'm going to wait till all the strikers get in because I still have one in my head and I want to see if they name it. So, Grizz, you have gone with
Zaki
and
Papi Cisse.
Good, I like them. Keith, give us your strikers.
Karl, do you want to go first or?
Go on, Karl. Go on, Karl. Go on.
I've gone for Adrian Mutu.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Obviously left for reasons
the drugs
best known to the world. He had a very, very interesting career.
We're not getting sued for that. Well. We're not getting sued for that, lads. We know what he was up to. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, he's actually been convicted and has been given the biggest fine in football in history still to this day.
Yep.
Because of that 18 million quid. And the other one I was going to go for Jan Arge Fjortoft of Swindon because he did only have one season. But I've gone for Robinho.
Okay. Yeah. Just before you go on to Robinho, Jan Arge Fjortoft, he was at Swindon for the season. Did he go to another English side after that?
He did.
No, he went back to. He went back down. He went to Middlesbrough eventually, but he went back down and did another season with them.
Okay, right. I don't know why. I don't know why I had it in my head that Jan Arge Fjortoft played for Chelsea at some stage. He clearly didn't. He clearly didn't.
You're thinking Michael Forsell?
No. Stephen O'Connor has Michael Forsell on the list here. Kev O'Sullivan has Tino Espria and Hernan Crespo. But no, Jan Arge Fjortoft for me is a brilliant show. Unless he done quite well at Middlesbrough, I'm not too sure. But Robinho is a brilliant show.
Yeah, because the world wanted him, and he was all right for a bit, and then he just fell away, and they couldn't wait to get rid of him.
Yeah, he just decided that it was raining too much where he was.
Yeah,
and he wasn't expecting this.
Which you don't get in Manchester much.
No, you don't. And there was also the mad rumours that he thought he was signing for United, and when he got to Manchester and realised all the training kit they were putting on him was light blue, he was wondering what was going on. But listen, we can't confirm or deny that. Grizz has gone with Zaki and he's gone with the other lad, Papi Cisse. Robinho and who was the other one? Mutu, yeah, which is great. It's very obvious. I was going to
go for a Mutu Michu forward line just for the names.
Okay, no worries. But you've gone with Robinho over Jan Arge Fjortoft. Yeah. Keith, give us your two.
Right, I've gone for two different ones again, so we haven't crossed paths at all here. So the first one I've gone for is an absolute pudding, right? Rocky Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at him as well.
Rocky Santa Cruz in Blackburn 07-08 got 23 goals, 8 assists.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant for them, right? And
You still there?
the double figures outside playing for Asuncion in Paraguay. Now, this season in Paraguay, he's got 23 goals or something.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons, he's got 20 odd, but the only times he got into double figures was that one season at Blackburn, and he was amazing. And he was a bit of a good-looking fucker, and I think everyone fell for that, but he was an absolute stock in it. He went to City, he got 2 goals for City. Yeah. Absolute muck savage.
Now, do you know I compared Zaki to the Egyptian Shearer.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Here we go.
I've got one more that's like this one makes sense.
Yeah.
How much does Roque Santa Cruz remind you of, or the other way around, the Jimenez at Wolves? Stylistically,
yes, great show.
Looks wise as well.
Yeah.
Very similar type of players.
Mm-hmm.
Great hair, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one, Keith?
Yeah, swarty Latinos, but I think Jimenez is a much better player than Santa Cruz. But I do see what you mean. Physique and all that's quite similar. But he was absolute rubbish, Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz?
He wasn't rubbish.
He wasn't rubbish, but he'd only one good season in England. You have to be fair on that.
Like for the centre forward, and he's only got double figures outside of Paraguay in one season. Like terrible.
Yeah. So Rocky Santa Cruz is the first one. Who did you give me your second one?
No, my second one, and I had looked at a few of the lads' choices there. I also looked at Marcus Stewart when he was at Ipswich.
Marcus Stewart has been mentioned by Kev O'Sullivan here. Yeah. Yeah,
I looked at him. I looked at the other fella, Asamoah Gyan, had a great year at Sunderland, but I went for Fabrizio Ravanelli. When he went to Middlesbrough.
Scores a hat-trick on his league debut against us, doesn't he?
Yeah, against us, 96, 97. He's only there for one season. 18 goals.
Stiggy scores in that game.
He did, yeah.
Collector's item. But Ravanelli was brilliant, and he didn't hang around, and it's not that he was poor when he left, or he pitches up at Derby a few years later as well.
He wins the Champions League in 99, doesn't he? No, not 99, 90... Does he win it?
Did he come from Juventus?
Yeah, he won it with Juve.
He won it with Juve, but not before he was at Middlesbrough, I don't think, did he?
I think it could have been. It could have been the year before.
I think he did, yeah.
I think he was. I think he could have been the year before.
He scores the winner. I think it's in Rome. The final's in Rome. He's from a tight angle.
That was the beauty of it, that he came from, such lofty height to Middlesbrough.
I also like the fact that he was on, the money he was on. One of his contracts also said that the club must pay his heating bills.
Yeah,
that was part of his contract.
Yeah,
as in he got there and thought, I'm not paying for this. It's freezing here.
I really thought Ravanelli was the most intelligent, sort of off the ball in terms of getting into positions. Technically, he was shambles. He was absolute shambles technically, but in terms of creating space and getting into goal-scoring opportunities, I think he was in that day and era, he was one of the very best.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was. I also like the footage of him walking around Goodison, going no, because he went to Goodison first and had to look round.
Yeah, and
then signed for Middlesbrough. I mean, talk about a statement of intent there.
Yeah. What year did Juve win it then?
It must be the year before he signed, didn't it?
He wins it with Juve.
So he went from Juve to Middlesbrough. He went from Middlesbrough. He went to Marseille and Lazio.
Okay, but then he wins it. Is it 90? It's not 94. He wins the Champions League because Milan. 95 was Ajax, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. 96 then it must have been 95, 96.
Yeah, because I'm nearly sure he scores the winning goal. Tony Yeboah, says Kevin O'Sullivan, scorer of 2 wonder goals, still talked about today, and I don't know where he is. David Lennon asks,
I think they were at the start of the season. Where didn't he do 2 of them again?
He scores in the second league game of the season, I think, at home to Liverpool with that goal, and then he scores the following week, I think, away at Wimbledon. I want to say Wimbledon. It was at Selhurst Park anyway. Yeah. And he bashes her in off the underside of the bar again. And then I don't know where he is now. Let me see. Andy Carroll, before we sign him, says Stephen O'Connor. David Lennon has asked the question, won it with Juve. It must have been 96 he won the European Cup. And then goes...
He left Juve. I've got his thing up here. He left Juve in 96, yeah.
To go to...
Middlesbrough.
To go to Middlesbrough.
Yeah. And Janine
played over 500 games.
Yeah. There's a lot of games, a lot of games. Only true Premier League aficionado, says Kieran, will remember Ian Olney.
Ian Olney, yeah. He played for last, was he?
Villa,
Villa, yeah. Boney is a shout. Benjani is a shout. I'm surprised none of you went for me, though.
Yeah.
What, Wigan?
Yeah.
Wigan, yeah.
And when I went to Wigan again.
Yeah, when I thought it in my head, I went, don't say Mido, because he actually is at Wigan at some stage.
I could have gone for Mido, Muto, and Michu.
Yeah, you could have had a brilliant front three there.
Thank fuck you did it.
But you all went for fucking diamonds and flat 4-4-2s.
We need a one season wonder manager.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I do that, George Burley? Thank you very much.
Yeah, George Burley. Yeah, that's it for me. And half a season, I'd like to give a shout out to the little fella that's really fucking annoying on Sky. He managed Blackpool. Ian Holloway. He done brilliant at Blackpool. They would look great, and then they just fell off a cliff and got relegated. I'd like to give him a shout. Grizz, anybody else you'd like to go? Would you like to go against George Burley or Ian Holloway for half a season?
Well, I think I've got a fair competition in terms of one season wonders. What's his name? Di Matteo, Chelsea.
Oh yeah,
wins the Champions League with them, and then that's it.
Yeah. And they don't mention it at all. It's weird that.
Yeah.
It's like every time they go to Stamford Bridge, and there's nothing. They've got all the stuff on. They've got the John Terry legends and Lampard and stuff like that, and Drogba, and they never mention the man who won them the European Cup.
Yeah. That's because he was an absolute disaster, wasn't he? And he was gone very quick into the 12-13 season. And
the players loved him.
Yeah, the players loved him because they could do what they fucking liked. Let's be honest about it.
Which is Chelsea's problem.
That's how Chelsea work. If we're allowed to do what we like, we really like it. And then the likes of an Ancelotti or remember the Brazilian fella that rocked up?
Scolari.
Scolari rocked up, and they just went, we don't like him because he looks like he will punch us in the face continuously, which I really, really enjoyed at the time. Keith, any advance on the manager?
Claudio Ranieri.
Okay.
Won the league. Don't fuck all after that.
Yeah, he did get Chelsea into a Champions League qualification at a key point. Philip Weaver shouts out to Pardew, who got you Chelsea. Didn't he get Newcastle?
I tell you,
he got Newcastle to a Champions League qualifying, obviously.
Maybe, hopefully one of you can help me out. The guy I really want to choose was the guy at Bolton. Do you remember the one who was very vocal, who sat them down, who done the team talk?
That was Hull.
What was his name? Phil Brown.
Phil Brown.
Phil
Brown, that's the one. What a one season one. He thought he really was the dog's bollocks, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to Arsenal, didn't they? Suddenly he thought he was fucking Trapattoni or something.
Some bad
He's the one. Yeah.
Remember he sat them on the pitch at the Etihad, and the subs walked into this changing room. And the great thing about this is the subs who are on the bench walk into the dressing room, thinking we'd win the dressing room, we'd probably get told to warm up. Nobody shows up in the dressing room. They're wondering what the fuck's going on. And they come out and Phil Brown's there with his Bluetooth little earpiece in his ear, absolutely going mental at the lads on the pitch. And I can't remember what player it was. Jimmy Bullard. Jimmy Bullard was involved with that.
Yeah, Jimmy Bullard did a celebration of it next week.
Yeah, and not only that, I've listened to him on a couple of different podcasts talking about it, and he said, they were saying, Jimmy, what was it like? He goes, what do you mean what it was like? You didn't know where to look. You didn't know where to fucking look. He said it was the most embarrassing moment of his career, and he knew then Phil Brown won't last here. It just won't happen.
Yeah.
But
you don't do that.
Some brilliant players there over the last hour or so. Absolutely brilliant players. Not only from the lads here, but the lads on the chat as well. Threw in some great stuff. But if you had to pick one player out of your team, Keith, just to be the standout for your team, who would it be?
Well, for quality, I'd go for... Well, Hierro was the leader of that team. For shite bags, I'd go for...
Charlie Adam,
yeah. How could he look any further?
Yeah, okay. Grizz, anybody stands out in your team that you go, yeah, he's the one I'd hold up as the biggest one-season wonder?
Oh, easily, yeah. I don't even know his first name. That's how much a one-season wonder he was. Drinkwater. Was it Kevin Drinkwater?
Danny Drinkwater.
Danny Drinkwater.
Kevin.
Kevin Drinkwater.
John Drinkwater. Dylan O'Rourke asks, what pod is Bullard on? Great question. Go and look up the Magic Sponge podcast and just thank me later. The Magic Sponge podcast, go and listen to it. It's really, really good. Karl, Who's your standout in your team?
It is Danny Drinkwater, just because he's the archetype, isn't he? He basically, if you'd sat someone down and said, "Can you just please create a career which fits into the criteria of this podcast?" then he followed that to the letter. Absolutely.
Yeah, Danny Drinkwater, the man that didn't make it at United, went to Leicester, won the league, starts smelling himself.
He captains my team.
Yeah, he goes to Chelsea, it falls apart, and then he ends up, I think, Sean Dyche might have given him a few slaps at Burnley and told him to go away, and now he's at Aston Villa. So Danny Drinkwater is a great show. Karl, it's been an absolute pleasure as always, and we'll speak to you soon.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
No problem at all. Keith, as always, a pleasure. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, enjoyed it. Take care.
Grizz, thanks a million for joining us. It's been great.
No worries, man. Sorry I was a little late.
No problem at all, Grizz. We are used to that. You are a superstar and you have a lot on your plate.
Correct.
That's been the Fatback 4 Daily. Thanks for joining us. We will try to get back some stage this week. What to talk about, I have not got a clue. I'll have to sit down with the lads now and find something else to go through. Thanks a million for joining us. Your comments have been brilliant. You've been sharing it. You've been doing all that bits and pieces. So thanks again. Over and out.